Hi Y3, I hope you're all good today. So we are starting with a bit of literacy and we're doing a vocab blast. And we have this word in the middle that says blossomed. Can you say the word blossomed? Well done if you said the word blossomed. So this picture down here will give you a bit of a clue of what you think the word blossomed might mean. So have a quick pause and have a go at what you think the word blossomed means. Okay, so well done. The word blossom means that a flower, hang on 1 second, a flower that starts to open up or come out. So as you can see, this flower is starting to blossom over time, started to come out, started to open up. An example of this in a sentence could be, the flower blossomed throughout the spring. That's when flowers tend to grow, isn't it? It starts to blossom and come out there. And a non-example, so what would be the opposite of blossomed? What do you think? So yeah, I think something like either fade or a word like withered away. So that means to like die, okay, to like slowly close back up and to slowly die, because that's what eventually happens to flowers, isn't it? Over time they open up, the blossom, and as soon as that happens and it starts to get a bit colder, they start to wither away and dwindle. They start to get a little bit, you know, they start to die, don't they? So brilliant work there. Okay, so we've got our, oops, I'll give you a bit of a clue for later on. So we've got our learning objective today, which is to write a multi-clause sentence with if. And basically that's just writing sentences with the word if. So I can write a multi-clause sentence. I can use the word if as a subordinating conjunction. So that's what the little clues are for. So can you think of any other subordinating conjunctions that we've spoken about before in class? So well done if you manage to think of words like because, although, while, might even put even though. Okay, these are sorts of words that are subordinated conjunctions. They add a main clause and a subordinated clause, the extra bit onto the main clause. Okay, and I can use a modal verb to suggest possibilities. Now we're going to go a bit more into modal verbs later on. So before we have a quick sneak peek of that, let's just have a quick recap of our book. So we have met this new magician, haven't we? And he's called Abdul Kazam, okay? And he was the one who made all this amazing magic, okay? Can you remember? With a steel organ, and he produced all this fantastic magical things, all these mechanical animals, didn't he? From the steel organ. And Leon, he was so excited, wasn't he? Leon was super excited with everything that was happening, and he was ready for the magic, wasn't he? He was, you know, he was really keen for the magic. So we can get on with a bit of reading for our next section today. Okay. Trust nothing, said Abdul Kazam, but believe in everything. He threw his arms into air and began the magic. Paper flowers blossomed from his sleeves. Remember that word blossomed? Silk scarves changed colour at a whispered word. Water poured into a hat and turned into the night air. Bright white handkerchiefs became fluttering doves. So here's Abdul Kazam, and he's performing all his magic tricks. So he's turning handkerchiefs into doves. Handkerchief is like a tissue. He's turning paper flowers. He's getting paper flowers from his sleeves. They're blossoming from his sleeves, if you can see that. Silk scarves are changing colour. So he's performing all of this magic, okay? And I bet Leon is just absolutely amazed by all of this. So on to the next section. You may notice there's a bit blocked out here, and there's a reason for that as well. The crowd was amazed. Then Abdul-Kazam stepped aside, and there was a door into a box. Who will step into the magic? Leon knew it had to be him. Okay, and as you can see, so Abdul-Kazam has said, who's going to step into this magic box? Who's going to be ready to go in? And of course, our main character, Leon, says it has to be him. So there he is going into the magic box. Okay, so my question is, do you think Leon should enter the box? Is that really a good idea? He's entering into a box where who knows what could be there? So here's your sentence starters. I think Leon should enter the box because, or do you think, I think Leon shouldn't enter the box? Do you think it might be a good idea or a bad idea for him entering this box, but he doesn't know what's inside? So have a quick pause, say it out loud, or if you want to, write it down for me on your sheet at home and you can send it in to me, because I would love to see what your opinions are of Leon and this idea that he's got for going into this box. So I'm going to tell you my opinion of this. So I don't think it's I don't think it's a good idea. I think Leon sort of had to enter it, because if he didn't, then I think he would regret not going in there. However, he is going into a box, you know, into this magical box, into, we don't know where, do we? We don't know what's going to happen into this box, do we? Okay, so let's go on to my next questions for you. So what do you think the other children are thinking as Leon enters the box? So here we've got the other children. We've got little Mo, we've got Pete, and we've got the other child. And look at their faces. What do you think their faces are saying? So you've got your sentence started. I think the other children are feeling blank as Leon enters the box because. So again, have a bit of a pause, have a bit of a think about how the children are feeling and why they might be feeling that. Again, if you want to have a write of it on your sheet at home and you can send it in to me, I would love to see what you think about these children and what they're thinking. So I think that the other children are probably feeling a bit worried or a bit concerned as Leon entered the box, because again, they don't know what's going to happen in this box. For all they know, he could be disappearing off forever. They might not ever see him again. So I think they're looking a bit worried and, you know, not feeling very comfortable about Leon going into this box. So my next question, what advice might they have for Leon, or what would you have for Leon? So again, have a bit of a think about what advice you would probably give to Leon about entering this box, or maybe not entering this box. So I would tell Leon that he needs to be very careful about entering this box, because it could be a very dangerous place. He doesn't know what's going to be in there. He's just basically gone in there unprepared. Okay, so I tell him to be very, very careful about what he does in there, especially in a place that could potentially be very, very magical. So what do you think could happen to Leon if he enters the box? So you got your sentence starter. I think blank could happen if Leon enters the box. So again, have a quick pause. You want to write it down so I can see your ideas. I would love to see that. So I think if Leon enters the box, I think he could be in lots of danger. Okay, I don't think a magical place would be a very safe place for a child. However, that's my opinion. You might have a slightly different one. Okay, so on to our learning today. So if can be used as a subordinating conjunction. A subordinating conjunction joins two clauses together, a main clause and a subordinating clause. So the main clause is the bit that makes sense by itself, and the subordinating clause is the bit of the extra information. It needs to be added onto the main clause for it to make sense. So here we have the sentence. If you enter the box, you might witness the magic with your own eyes. So which is the main clause of that sentence? If you enter the box, you might witness the magic with your own eyes. Well done if you said the main clause was you might witness the magic with your own eyes. Witness, basically, you see it with your own eyes, okay? So this is the main clause. This is the bit that makes sense by itself. And the subordinating clause, the added bit, is if you enter the box. Remember, that doesn't quite make sense by itself. So that's the subordinating clause, and this is the main clause, okay? And altogether, it makes a subordinating clause. So we're on to this next one. If you climb into the box, you could be in danger in the magical place. So if you climb into the box, you could be in danger in the magical place. So have a think about what the main clause is and what the subordinating clause is. So well done if you said you could be in danger in the magical place. So that bit makes sense by itself. And the subordinating clause is at the beginning again, if you climb into the box, okay? Because remember, that doesn't quite make sense by itself. You need the main clause for it to all make sense and to make a subordinating clause. So we're on to our modal verbs. Can you say modal verbs? Brilliant. So modal verbs indicate likelihood, ability, or permission. Basically, it's all to do with probability, okay? So we have these words like can, could, will, would, should, may, must, and might. So they're all to do with like likelihood, permission, and ability to do something. So we're going to have a look at these in these sentences, okay? So Leon might be trapped if he goes into the box. So which word is the modal verb in that sentence? Leon might be trapped if he goes into the box. Which one shows probability? Which one shows the likelihood of something? Well done if you said might. Okay, on to the next one. He could get lost in the place between. I'm going to capitalize the place between, because the place between is the name of the place in a book. Oops, there we go. So he could get lost in the place between. Which one shows you the possibility of something that might happen? He could get lost in the place between. Well done if you said the word could, because remember, he could, okay? It's a possibility. And our last sentence, I think Leon should go through in the box. I think Leon should go through. I'm going to take that, I'll put that in. Should go through the box. So I think Leon should go through the box. Move that out of the way. So which word do you think shows probability? I think Leon should go through the box. Well done if you said it's the word should, because again, that shows a bit of probability, doesn't it? So well done if you managed to spot them at home. Remember, if you wanted to, you could show these, you can write your own sentences if you want to, and actually that's what we're going to do next for our next piece of writing. So what you're going to do is you're going to write your own sentences giving advice to Leon about whether he should or shouldn't go into the box. Make sure you try to use a modal verb and word if, okay? Oh, I'm just getting comfy, there we go. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to give an example here. So, if you go into the box, comma, you will finally get to see what's inside. You might even go on an adventure. So If you go into the box, you will finally get to see what's inside. You might even go on an adventure. So that's my sentence there. Okay, so if you have a go at this, I have found attached some words that you might need, any interesting verbs, any adjectives, modal verbs, and some sentence starters for you. So remember to have a go at it at home. You can print this out if you can, but just on a sheet of paper will be fine. Remember to try and use the word if or a modal verb in your work as well. Make sure that you send any work to me as well. We haven't quite finished yet because we're going to read a bit more of our book today. So I'm quite excited about what might happen next. So we're reading off the rest of this book. Okay, bear with me. He stepped into the stage and climbed into the box. There was a gasp from Little Mo, and the door shut behind him. Okay, so he's decided to go through. So let's see what's going to happen next. Okay, so he's gone through. Okay, as you can see on here, there, and you can see Abdul Kazam is in the corner there. Okay, so has Leon made the right choice of going through the box? Look at his face. Oh, what do you think? If that's a good idea that he has done there. Remember, I forgot to add this on. Make sure that you send any work to me at y3willow@australiabyronwood.org, and I would love to see your work. Okay, because you know, it's really important that we carry on with our work at home. Right, so again, make sure that you do have a go at this. Make sure you try and use a modal verb, any of these modal verbs, and make sure you try and use the word if you can in a sentence. That's it from me today, and I'll see you with the next lesson. Bye now.